News now out of Ohio. We've just learned that Chad Doerman has pleaded guilty to the 2023 brutal murders of his 3 young sons. Remember, Doerman was facing charges of murder, aggravated assault, and kidnapping after he gunned down his sons Clayton, Hunter, and Chase at the family home last June. Court documents show that Doerman returned home from work early on the day of the incident, retrieved his gun from a safe inside the home, shooting his son Hunter twice before chasing down and shooting the 2 other boys. Doerman's stepdaughter was also held at gunpoint but managed to escape unharmed. The boy's mother and the defendant's wife, Laura, phoned 911 and was shot in the hand in an attempt to save her sons. Doerman had previously pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity as prosecutors sought the death penalty. So here's the latest as this update comes in from our very own Anjanette Levy at the courthouse. Prosecutor Mark, here's the latest. What they're saying is that these guilty pleas include, let me take a look at this closely here, 3 aggravated murder charges for the deaths of the children, felonious assault for injuries to the ex-wife Laura and his stepdaughter. Both of them, of course, trying to save the children. It's amazing that they escaped alive. Here's the deal. Life without the possibility of parole on the aggravated murder. Those will run consecutively, and the sentences with felonious assault charges also to run consecutive. Obviously, the deal here was the death penalty was taken off the table. This case is so similar, and I hate to even remember this other case because it's brutal, the Chris Watts case out of Colorado, so similar in the harsh brutality that we see a parent inflict on the kids. Boy, let me talk to my guest about this. Katherine Lizardo is here, Eric Faddis. Eric, let me start with you because you're in Denver. You remember the Watts case, I'm sure. What do you think about the resolution to this case? Clearly the guy took a deal that would save his life.
You know, I think it probably makes sense for all involved. These, in addition to being horrific, can be deeply unsatisfying in terms of their outcomes. You know, I know some folks were vying for the most serious outcome there is, death. But here, you know, we get some accountability. We get this person removed from society. It sounds like forever. And then in exchange, they're just not going to kill him. And so is that, you know, a fair outcome on the balance? I think so, but again, just so tragic. You know, I know Mr. Watts is not faring well in custody from what I hear, and I wonder if Mr. Doerman might have the same fate.
Yes. So, Katherine, same question to you. I mean, this is the case that I can't imagine a jury not being allowed to offer up the death penalty as an option for the judge, not taking that. This is just such a brutal, harsh series of events in these 3 young kids.
Yes, and the trial, as Eric mentioned, would be very devastating for everyone as well because they have to rehash what happened and testify on that behalf. One thing that tripped up the prosecution as well with this trial is that the detective was failed to provide the proper Miranda rights for the defendant and continued to question him even after he asked for an attorney. Now, whether or not
I hate to interrupt you, Katherine. We're going to have to run here, and you're so right about that impact. So it's an amazing case. That's the resolution in the Doerman matter. Looks like life without the possibility of parole. Let me thank and excuse Katherine Lizardo and Eric Faddis. Thank you, guys. Rich is coming up next, and he's got Mr. Schoenstein. He'll have the latest on Gregor, too. See you next time. Try to do the right thing.